Made a plan for how you're going to deal with difficult family members over the holidays? If not, listen to me and I'll give you a couple of tips. A natural way of engaging is that we end up trying to convince another person to think the way that we think. If we're doing that and they're doing that, naturally we're going to end up probably in conflict, especially if those people have different points of view than us. And the other thing to note is that often what we do is unconsciously we just go along with whatever's happening. So if Aunt Mary is gossiping about Uncle Joe, then you end up gossiping about Uncle Joe. Someone's talking about politics, you end up talking about politics. So here are my invitations to you. The first one is, if you don't want to argue, bring curiosity and wonder to the conversation. It means before you go, you remind yourself, I don't feel like arguing. I don't want to get into it with this person. So what do? You bring a beginner's mind. That means that when you're sitting down across the table from Uncle Jim and he starts talking about politics and it's completely in disagreement with what you believe, that rather than starting to try to convince him or just dismissing him and just sort of like trying to change the subject, get curious. Bring wonder to it. Like, I wonder why he thinks that. Ask some really good questions. Maybe like, hey, Uncle Jim, I am so curious. Like, what led you to come to believe this? Uncle Jim, so I noticed that you believe such and such and such and such. I'm just kind of curious, like, how does it make your life better to think that? I'm really genuinely curious. But bring genuine curiosity, not like patronizing, kind of like, ha ha ha, I'm gonna try to like poke holes in your belief. Like, really genuinely come into the place of, what if I were to connect with this person over our shared humanity? Which is my second point, which is to think about your communications with people as trying to find what you have more in common than what you disagree with. And that is a very hard thing to do. But again, it's bringing open curiosity and bringing up subjects that maybe are less confrontational, like, what hobbies do you like and how's work been? The final thing that I want to say is this: you get to bring your own commitment to how you want to be, okay? So you may not be able to change other people, but when Aunt Mary does start gossiping about Uncle Joe, you can say, I didn't notice that. What did you think of the pie? You get to have your own control over how the conversation goes. You don't get to control them, but you get to control you. You get to exit from conversations. You can bring up another subject. You can share your suggestions and thoughts about other topics of conversation.